Level 1, $30,000. You are grateful. You don't say it out loud, but it lives in the way you answer emails at 9 p.m., in the way you say of course when asked to do something that isn't in your job description, in the way you laugh at jokes that aren't funny because the person telling them decides whether you come back tomorrow. Your boss knows you're grateful, not because you told him, because the math told him. At $30,000, there are 12 people behind you who want your seat. He knows it. You know it. The knowing lives between every interaction you have. You do the work of someone who costs more, because the alternative is being someone who costs nothing. You send a report on a Monday, he doesn't respond. Tuesday, nothing. You follow up on Wednesday, professionally, carefully, with just enough deference that it doesn't read as pressure. He replies on Friday with 2 words. Looks good. 2 words for 40 hours of your week. You tell yourself he's busy. He is, but not too busy to respond within minutes to the email from the director above him. You saw the thread. You weren't supposed to, but you saw it. You raise your hand in a meeting. You have a real idea. You say it clearly. The room moves on. 3 minutes later, your colleague says almost the exact same thing with slightly different words. Your boss nods. That's interesting. He writes it down. You stare at the table. You're not invisible at $30,000. You're interchangeable. And interchangeable and invisible feel identical from the inside. The first rule: at $30,000, your boss doesn't manage you. He manages your replacement risk. Level 2, $50,000. Something changed, not in you, in the math. At $50,000, replacing you costs the company real money. Recruiting fees, training time, the lost productivity of 6 months while someone new learns the systems you built. Your boss knows this, not consciously, structurally. He starts learning your name, not your name on the org chart, the actual name, the one your family uses. He asks about your weekend on Monday mornings. It feels genuine. It is genuine. It is also calculated in a way he doesn't examine too closely. You get feedback now, real feedback, not just silence or 2-word replies. He sits across from you in a one-on-one and tells you what you're doing well and where he wants you to develop. You feel seen. You are seen. You are seen because seeing you now costs less than losing you. The feedback is designed to keep you, not to grow you. Those 2 things sometimes look the same. They are not the same. You're assigned to a project with actual visibility, not the core work, the supporting work. You build the slides he presents. You run the numbers that back his argument. You are the infrastructure underneath a structure with his name on it. He defends you once in a meeting. Someone from another department questions your timeline. He pushes back. You feel loyalty bloom in your chest. This is intentional. A defended employee is a retained employee. He has done the math, even if he doesn't call it math. Your performance review comes, meets expectations. You expected more. You had a strong year. You say this carefully, in the language of someone who knows the power imbalance in the room. He nods. He says budget was tight this cycle. He says he went to bat for you. You thank him. You do not know whether the first sentence was true. You believe the second one. The second rule: at $50,000, your boss invests just enough in you to keep you from leaving, not enough to help you leave for somewhere better. Level 3, $75,000. You're not just an employee anymore. You're an asset he's been assigned to develop. He says things like, I see you moving into a senior role within 18 months. He says things like, I'm building a case for you. He says things like, you're one of my people. You hear these things and something in you wants them to be true badly enough that you stop examining whether they are. He copies you on emails now, not all of them, the ones where being copied signals something. You start appearing in rooms you weren't in before, not speaking rooms, listening rooms. You are being shown something. The question nobody asks you is whether you're being shown the inside or just the door. He asks for your opinion, casually, in a hallway, in a way that feels like collaboration. You give it. A week later, the opinion appears in a document without attribution. You recognize it the way you recognize your own handwriting on someone else's paper. You don't say anything, because at $75,000, you understand something you didn't at $30,000. The game has rules, and the rules are not written anywhere. He introduces you to his boss once. The introduction lasts 40 seconds. He uses the word indispensable. You stand there holding a coffee cup and smile. His boss glances at you the way people glance at things they weren't expecting to see in a room, and then return to the conversation they were already having. The door opened for a second, then it closed, and your boss moved on like it hadn't happened, but it had, and you filed it.
The third rule, at $75,000, your boss is managing your ambition, not your career, your ambition, because managed ambition is more useful than satisfied ambition.
Level 4, $100,000. The relationship changes, subtly, structurally, permanently. He stops telling you what to do. He starts telling you what he needs. The difference sounds small. It isn't. At $30,000, he assigned you tasks. At $100,000, he gives you problems. The problems are real. The autonomy is real. What is also real is that solving them now lives inside your body, in the part of you that can't stop working at midnight because the deliverable is yours, and you feel it. He mentions your name to people above him, not in every conversation, in the right ones. You hear this secondhand, through hallways and forwarded emails, and the way someone senior you've barely met says your name like they already know something about you. You understand this is currency. You are being spent somewhere you can't see. He respects your boundaries now. When you say you need to block Friday afternoon, he says, of course. This is not generosity. This is the calculation of someone who knows that burning you out costs more than protecting your Friday. The math became more expensive at $100,000, so he became more careful. You disagree with him in a meeting, directly, professionally, with evidence. He listens, he pauses, he says, walk me through that. Not because he's open to being wrong, because someone who earns what you earn being wrong in a room is a talent problem he can't afford. He is still your boss, but the word means something different now. Less authority, more negotiation. The power imbalance is real, but it has to be exercised carefully because exercising it badly would cost something neither of you wants to name. The fourth rule. At $100,000, your boss still has power over you, but for the first time, you have something he needs. And needing something from you changes every interaction, even the ones that look the same as before. Level 5, $150,000. You're in a different category now, and both of you know it. He doesn't manage you the way he manages other people on the team. The check-ins are fewer, the oversight is lighter. Not because he trusts you more than them, because you cost more than them. And the cost creates a gravity that pulls both of you into a different orbit. He brings you into strategy conversations, real ones, not the post-decision presentations, the pre-decision rooms where the actual argument is being built. You sit at a table where the words being used are about things that will affect thousands of people. You say something, it lands differently than it landed at $75,000. You haven't changed, the number has, and the number changed how the room hears you. He asks how you're doing in a way that means something different, not the hallway "how are you" that requires the word "fine." The closed door "how are you" that is actually asking whether he's about to lose you. You are expensive to lose at $150,000, not just in recruiting, in the institutional knowledge you carry, in the relationships you've built, in the things only you know how to do. He starts protecting you from above. When his boss wants to pull you onto a project that would distract you from your work, he pushes back. You find out later. You were not part of the conversation. You were the subject of it. Two people above your pay grade argued about your time. This is a different kind of visibility than anything below this level. The performance review becomes a negotiation with paperwork. The fifth rule, at $150,000, your boss isn't managing your performance anymore. He's managing his relationship with you, because you became someone he can't afford to handle badly. Level 6, $200,000. You and your boss are peers now, not in title, in weight. He treats you like someone he's building something with, not someone he's directing. The conversations are longer. The deference runs both directions. He asks your opinion and means it, not the managed version of meaning it from level 3. The real version, the version where he changes his mind sometimes and says so. He protects your reputation in rooms you'll never enter. He says your name in the right context to the right people, and the saying of it costs him something because names are currency at his level, and spending yours means he's betting on you with something real. You start to see the constraints he operates under, the budget he doesn't control, the pressure from above him that he absorbs before it reaches you, the decisions he has to execute that he didn't choose. You understand him differently now, not as a boss, as someone navigating the same structure you are, just one floor higher. There are things he can't do for you, not won't, can't. The system above him has its own rules, and those rules have weight. You are expensive enough that the system pays attention to you now, but you are not yet expensive enough that the system adjusts for you. He tells you things he doesn't tell other people, not secrets, positioning, where the company is going, what the leadership is thinking, what's coming before it arrives. This is not generosity. This is an investment. A person who knows what's coming is a person who can prepare for it, and a prepared person is more valuable than a surprised one. The sixth rule, at $200,000, your boss tells you the truth. Not all of it, the parts you need to stay.
Level 7, $300,000. You don't have a boss in the old sense anymore. You have someone above you on an org chart, someone who signs off on your compensation, someone whose decisions affect yours. But the daily experience of having a boss, the waiting, the performing, the hoping someone notices, that is gone. The relationship now is peer to senior peer. The language is collaborative. The power difference is real, but rarely expressed. He comes to you, not you to him, not you requesting time on his calendar, him appearing at your desk or sending a message that is a question, not an assignment. He needs something from you that he cannot get anywhere else. Your expertise, your network, your read on a situation, your willingness to stay. You walk into rooms where the agenda was not written for you. You write the agenda, or you are consulted before it's written, or the person who writes it asks you what should be on it. These are three different things, and all of them are available now. He respects you, genuinely, not the managed respect of level 2 that was really retention strategy, not the collaborative respect of level 5 that was really risk management, something closer to the real thing, the respect of someone who has worked alongside you long enough to understand what you're actually capable of and found it worth respecting. There are still things above him that you don't control and can't see, the board, the investors, the people for whom even your boss is a managed relationship. You know they exist. You've seen their decisions arrive from above and reshape everything below. You are not there yet, but you are close enough to feel the gravity. The seventh rule, at $300,000, the relationship with your boss becomes something closer to honest, because at this level, the performance is too expensive to maintain and the honesty is too valuable to waste.
Somewhere right now, someone is sitting at a desk wondering why their boss walked past them without looking up. They think it's personal. It isn't. They think it's about their performance. It isn't. They think if they work harder, stay later, cover one more Friday, the dynamic will shift. It won't. Not because of effort, because of the number. The system isn't broken. The system is doing exactly what it was built to do. It treats you according to what you cost to lose. And until the cost of losing you changes, the treatment doesn't change. The manager who ignores you at $30,000 and flies to your office at $300,000 is the same person. He didn't change. The number next to your name changed. You are the same person at every salary. The organization just decides who you are based on what it costs to replace you. The system doesn't change at every level. The system reveals what it always was.